Hey everybody, welcome back to James Draws Everything. Continuing today with our Drawing Every Country in the World's Flag series. Today, going into the largest enclave in the world, the country of Lesotho. Right, so Lesotho is an enclave, meaning it is surrounded entirely by another country. There's only, I believe, there's two of those in Italy, because I know we've done San Marino, and then we also did the Vatican. So Lesotho, is bordered completely by South Africa, so completely landlocked in South Africa. Lesotho, the former Basotho land. Lesotho means land of the Sotho people. And let's get started here. So they are an African country, but they do have a flag that does not represent the colors of Pan-Africanism. So it's got kind of a blue, white, green color scheme, and we'll get into the reasons for that in just a minute here. So it has kind of like a traditional tricolor design, like a lot of flags do. So let me just start with that, and then I'll get into the history here. Okay. So there's a king, King Mashosho, consolidates the kingdom around 1822. Okay, so in that period, that's that's the scramble for Africa. The Dutch are in what is now South Africa. So that was the Orange Free State at the time of Dutch colonialism in South Africa. And the Lesotho people, or the Sotho, they kind of had kind of like an existing culture already, from being, the kind of like their own little separate kingdom there, that consolidated kingdom that they formed in the beginning of the 19th century. So they are not welcoming to Dutch advance or of like the other surrounding tribes there, so like the Zulu and Bantu people. So they actually strike up a friendship with the British, right? So they make a deal with Britain to keep the Dutch and the other South African people out. And while they don't become entirely part of the Commonwealth, right, they are, they are allied with the UK at that time. They do become a protectorate of Great Britain in 1868. Right, so still some semi-autonomy there. And then in 1884, they do become a full-blown colony of the Crown. So they become a Crown colony. In 1884, right, kind of at the height of the scramble leading into the 20th century. All right, so there's the blue bar. And the hereditary nature of the monarchy, that's actually pretty long-lived there in Lesotho. So they do achieve independence in 1966. They do not become a republic or a nation state, though, like many of the other African former colonies do. They become the Kingdom of Lesotho, right? So this small little kingdom tucked away inside of South Africa, right? Still has a hereditary monarchy, hereditary rule. No real parliamentary structure. It's just kind of like a unitary monarchy, absolute monarchy. And you know what that means? That usually means it gets them in trouble, right, with the international community. So you see a lot of independence movements in Africa at that time. Pan-Africanism becomes a thing, right? Like the outright rejection of all colonial powers and instituting like a unified Africa, which never really takes off because, again, there's a lot of, existing cultures and whatnot within Africa that don't always mix, right? Divorced from any kind of European colonization whatsoever. You know, Africa's its own thing, right? It's not a country. It's a whole continent just full of different cultures, different countries. And Lesotho, they're ruled by the Basotho National Party for about 2 decades. After independence, their king becomes exiled in 1990, comes back in 1992, where he dies, and then he's succeeded by his son. And then this is where you kind of see a lot of violence, kind of overlapping this period here. The Pan-African Congress supports a lot of anti-monarchy movements in Lesotho. So we're going to start to see some trouble and violence in like the later half of the 20th century in Lesotho. So basically in 1993 they get rid of the monarchy. Not entirely, so like the monarchy still exists, but any kind of power the monarchy has is basically done. You know, they're kind of there as a figurehead, and you see a lot of violence because of the conflicting ideologies there. You know, you still have those that support it and then those that are against it. But yeah, the long-running Lesotho monarchy pretty much ends in 1993. They have no real power after that. And then because this was always a country that was ruled by a monarchy, they never really organically developed their political institutions. There's a lot of outside pressure from like these Pan-African movements. You're going to see a lot of instability. So there's a lot of elections that kind of go into dispute, a lot of violence around these disputed elections. They can never really settle on like a parliament or a Congress. And it's kind of been like that ever since. So that's Lesotho, the former Basotho land, right? So they were the Basotho land protectorate in 1868, and then Kingdom of Lesotho from 1966 to the present, right? And this little thing I'm drawing here is actually a hat, right? It's called, I'm gonna try to get this right, a mokorotlo. Okay, it's a mokorotlo hat, unique to the people of Lesotho. All right, so that's pretty much it for the flag, right? So it's got blue, white, and green. The blue, that stands for rain. And then the white stands for peace. And the green for prosperity, right? Green prosperity, the natural resources of the land. And again, the thing in the middle there is the mokorotlo, a traditional Basotho straw hat. Alright, so that's Lesotho. So it's written out like Lesotho, but that's how you pronounce it, Lesotho, for the Lesotho people. Okay, so let me just get rid of my pencil lines here. And I think we'll give you a little bit of bonus content today. I'm feeling a little fashionable here, so let's draw one of these mokorotlo hats. Okay, so bonus content time. We got an extra piece of paper here. Okay, and I can't think of any other country that has a hat on their flag, so go Lesotho. I guess you got that going for you. And yeah, it's kind of an interesting place, right? You don't really see too many countries that are like completely enveloped by other ones, right? So South Africa completely surrounds the country of Lesotho. And then I guess these things, they can weave and dye them in all sorts of colors too. Yeah, it's kind of would be like, I guess, if I don't know, if Texas had like a cowboy hat on their flag, or what do you call those hats that like was it like Raiden from Mortal Kombat wears, right? You have some Southeast Asian country with one of those straw hats. So this is kind of similar to that, right? Sort of a similar sort of design. I'd like to pick up one of these, right? If I ever made I guarantee, right? If you go to Lesotho, I don't know how their tourist industry is, right? They're definitely a poorer African country, right? They have a pretty high like AIDS rate, very low GDP, like per capita. But as far as like crime and terrorism, public safety, stuff like that, I think they get a pretty good report card score there. So good on them. Just you know, a developing country. It's probably a lot of the reason for that too is just because they're kind of isolated, you know, from the rest of the world. Like all the attention kind of goes to South Africa and Zimbabwe. You know, they're bigger neighbors, surrounding countries there. So yeah, if you go to like what was I gonna say there? If you go to like a tourist stop, right? Do they sell these? Right? You can bring your own home. Bring your own what is it called? You can bring your own Boko Rotlo. You can bring one of those home with you. Yeah, I looked at a lot of pictures of these too. A lot of them actually, like, they'll say Lesotho on them. So little national pride there. It's got to be, right? I mean, you can't. Your country, it's like, you know, you could put a BIRB on that flag. You could put, I don't know, like any kind of national animal, a national hero, and yeah, they put their hat. So didn't really do too much research into this, but it's gotta have some kind of important cultural significance. So yeah, kind of like I like these little oddball flags, right? That kind of just go their own way, right? Like I love the Kiribati flag, of course, my favorite one. I like the flag in Nepal that we did the other day, just for being weird. So you be you, Lesotho. And yeah, that's the flag. So that's the traditional Mosotho. Okay, so Mosotho is what I drew here. That's a single Sotho person, and Bosotho is plural. All right, so we're only drawing Mosotho today, no Bosotho, because we don't got time for that. But yeah, that's the flag of Lesotho, and that is their national pride, their national symbol, their national hat, their national fashion statement, the Moko Rotlo. Do you have a Moko Rotlo? Would you like a Moko Rotlo? Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.